Hey Ravens fan, have you heard the latest news? The situation with Devontae Walker has everyone a bit worried. What seemed like a great addition to the team has turned into a real challenge. Expectations were high for Walker, a rookie receiver with lots of potential, but things haven't gone as planned. Now, with injuries and underperformance, the question is, how will this affect the team this season? Stick with me until the end of this video to understand why this situation deserves our full attention and how it might shape what's coming next. Go Ravens! When the Ravens picked Devontae Walker in the 4th round of the 2024 draft, everyone was excited. He's tall, strong, and fast, the kind of receiver who can make amazing plays and catch those deep balls that leave defenses scrambling. Fans immediately thought Walker would be the missing piece for the offense. Someone who could change the game with his ability to win contested catches. It was as if he was the secret weapon the team needed to elevate its game. But as training and preseason games rolled out, things didn't go as planned. Walker faced challenges that kept him from shining as expected. Despite his potential, he struggled to showcase his skills, leading to doubts about whether he can deliver what the team needs. Fans are left wondering, will Walker bounce back and show why he was drafted, or will the issues he faced in training continue to be a stumbling block? Now fans are feeling mixed emotions. Hope still exists as it's early and he's just starting his NFL career. But the reality is that, so far, Walker hasn't made the impact everyone hoped for. This leaves us all with the question, will he turn things around and prove himself, or will his ongoing challenges remain a barrier? During training camp, Walker went through some tough times. He suffered multiple injuries, with a rib injury being the most significant, which limited his participation in practices and preseason games. When a player misses valuable training time, especially early in their career, it can greatly affect their rhythm and confidence on the field. Unfortunately, this is exactly what happened with Walker, and the impact was noticeable to everyone watching. Due to these injuries, Walker had limited opportunities to show his talent during the preseason. He had just 1 reception for 4 yards, far from what was expected from a player with his potential. This led to concerns about whether he's ready to be a key part of the Ravens' offense. The question now is, will Walker be able to establish himself on the team and become the player everyone hoped for, or will these difficulties continue to be a roadblock? And to make matters worse, he also didn't stand out on special teams, adding another layer of concern. This raises an important question about his ability to make an impact this season. In addition to struggles as a receiver, Walker also failed to make a mark on special teams, which often serves as a stepping stone for rookies to solidify their spot on the team. Special teams are where players show their versatility and willingness to contribute in any way, and Walker had a good chance to impress the coaches there. However, his performance was lackluster, which only increased doubts about his immediate impact on the Ravens roster. Jeff Zrebiec from The Athletic even mentioned that if Walker hadn't been drafted in the 4th round, he might not have made the final roster at all. The Ravens are known for being reluctant to cut draft picks, especially in their first seasons, but Walker's lack of notable performance on special teams reinforces the idea that he still has a long way to go to prove his worth. This situation leaves fans with a nagging question. If Walker isn't even standing out on special teams, will he find his place on the main team? The uncertainty remains, and now the focus is on how this will affect his projection for the 2024 season. Based on what we've seen so far, the outlook for Devontae Walker this season isn't very promising. According to Jeff Zrebiec, the rookie wide receiver's projection isn't great. He believes Walker will likely be a healthy scratch at the start of the season, meaning he might be physically ready to play, but probably won't see much action. This is a tough blow, especially for a team like the Ravens, who lost some important veteran players in the offseason and could have used a productive new addition. This situation puts even more pressure on the team's other receivers, like Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, and Nelson Aguilar, who now have to carry the passing game almost entirely on their own. Without Walker to contribute right away, the margin for error for the receiving core is slim, and any injury or underperformance could be a big problem for the Ravens. It's a scenario where any extra help would make a difference, but unfortunately, it looks like Walker won't be that help right away. So, fans are left wondering, will Walker manage to turn things around and surprise everyone, or will he end up spending most of the season watching from the sidelines? Even if the predictions aren't optimistic, the season is long, and anything can change. However, the concern is real, and fans will be watching closely to see if Walker can make a comeback. This decision to keep him on the roster raises another important question. Why are the Ravens still betting on him? Despite all the difficulties Walker has faced, the Ravens decided to keep him on the roster. And this wasn't done lightly. The Ravens have a policy of giving their drafted players time to develop, especially in their early seasons. Cutting a fourth-round draft pick right away would be a tough call, and it shows that the team still sees something in Walker worth investing in. They believe that despite the current problems, he has the potential to become an important player in the future. Walker was seen as a project from the start, someone who needed time to adjust to the NFL level. He went through 3 different college programs, which may have delayed his development a bit. But the Ravens coaching staff believes that with patience and the right training, he could become a valuable player. After all, wide receivers with Walker's physical build and athletic abilities don't come around every day, and the hope is that he can eventually unlock that potential. Of course, keeping Walker on the roster has its implications. It means the Ravens are willing to be patient and invest in long-term development rather than seeking an immediate solution. This could be risky, especially if other roster players can't make up for Walker's lack of immediate impact. This is where the depth at the wide receiver position becomes an even bigger concern for the team. Devontae Walker's situation highlights a bigger challenge for the Ravens: the depth at the wide receiver position. Without Walker contributing right away, the team relies even more on the 3 established receivers: Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, and Nelson Agholor. These players have their own issues. Bateman has one 500-yard season to his name, and Agholor hasn't hit that mark since 2020. With these stats, any issues with these players could put the Ravens' passing game in a tough spot. The lack of immediate contribution from Walker puts the Ravens in a vulnerable position. They need their current receivers to perform consistently, with no room for injuries or drops in performance. The absence of a reliable 4th receiver, who could have been Walker, makes the situation even more uncertain. The team's ability to maintain a constant threat in the passing game could be compromised if the top 3 receivers can't meet their expectations. With all this, the Ravens will have to adapt and hope the situation improves over time. As Walker continues his development journey, the team must deal with the reality of limited depth at the wide receiver position. The pressure is on the current players to ensure the passing game remains strong. How the Ravens handle this situation could determine not just the success of the offense, but also the direction of the 2024 season. So, Ravens fan, what do you think about Devontae Walker's situation? Do you believe he'll manage to recover and show his worth? Or do you think these early struggles will be a bigger hurdle than we imagined? I'd love to hear your thoughts on his future with the team and how this might impact the Ravens season. Drop your comments below and share your opinion with us. Until next time, let's keep cheering for the team to overcome these challenges.